Okay.
Right, enough silliness. Welcome to the show. You know the drill, or you should by now, unless you're brand new, in which case I'll tell you. Put a large capital Q in front of your questions. Suffix that with a colon. Then write your question in full and suffix the whole thing with a question mark. That way, His Lordship Ted, King of the Bears, will be able to find those questions much more easily from his knob-twiddling position, and he will send them to Her Majesty Pim, Queen of Pirates, Queen of all Pinbatia and all her ducks, Chief Knob Twiddler, and Mother of Puppies, the Unpoked, and all of that. And she'll be able to
honorary tiger.
Oh yes, and honorary and honorary Waimea Toy Cricket Club Tigers player, because she stole my hat because my lights are bright. That's my cricket playing hat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of them. Yes, good.
Will I get lice now?
Lice? No. No lice.
Okay.
Right.
Is there anything else you want to say about capital Qs and stuff?
No, just do it. Write your questions.
No capital Qs?
Yes. All of that. And stuffs.
All right, we have super chats already, so we'll start with those.
Super duper. We love super chats. They're good.
If you do super chat, you don't need to do a capital Q because we will read it.
Yes.
Here you go.
Right.
Thank you, Lester. In emergency meat is not available and my family needs me to function 110%. How do I keep microbiome prepared for carbs so I'm not chained to a toilet?
Right. Well, you don't, is the short answer to that. I'm sorry to say. Your microbiome will optimize itself over time for your diet, whatever that may be. Optimize in terms of how far it's possible to optimize, given whatever your diet is. Yeah, so there's not really any way to prepare yourself for an unideal diet. It's just not ideal.
You can't have the cake and eat it.
Very good. Very good. You can't have your cake and eat it too. One does wonder what set of circumstances might prevail that would mean that there's no meat. Are you living somewhere communist, Lester? We all are, of course, a bit, aren't we? Yes, right, Your Majesty. What's next? and Princessa.
Lester also became a new member. Apparently.
Excellent. Good. Welcome. Welcome to the show.
Jonathan has a super chat. Thank you, Jonathan.
Yes.
Question, not a question. I met my baby niece for the first time. Yay.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome.
How many days ago?
Yes. Very good.
Well, we were waiting, so
yes.
There you go.
I
think that was it.
Also, to answer your question above that one, Jonathan, about whether I got your email and am dealing with that situation. Yes, I did. And yes, I am. And you will have the squids this week by some means or another. Don't worry. The funds are these are the funds from the fundraising thing for Jonathan last week or the week before, whenever that was. We've had some technical issues getting him the funds across to him in Blighty, but we'll get them to you this week.
Very good. And now we have another super chat.
Yes, good.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for all your excellent work.
Not at all. Thank you for the Pacific pesos. We do not mind Pacific pesos here.
Right, so shall we deal with some questions that are queued up? Start with this one.
With actual cues queued up.
Could you make and upload a video on an Odyssey about crowns and poke things?
Yes.
And why it's bad? A lot of people would like to hear a detailed explanation from a trusted scientist, or at least say who to listen to.
Possibly. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Oh, great. It was so cool. I couldn't reach you. Need long legs.
Welcome to the show, Fluffy. Are you going to help Mummy with the questions?
Probably not.
Oh, yeah.
She's never very helpful with that.
She's now profoundly deaf, unfortunately. Can't hear a thing.
We still talk to her, though.
Yes. She still knows that we still talk to her. She just doesn't hear a word of it.
Yeah.
Just like it used to be when she could actually hear us anyway.
No fucking difference. To what extent can the Bradford Hill criteria inform us about causal relationships? I am currently studying the topic of the causal inference.
Okay, let's be very, very clear on this. Let's make this absolutely clear so that there is no misunderstanding whatsoever. The Bradford Hill criteria are used in the following fashion only by anyone who's competent. If any one of the 9 Bradford Hill criteria is breached, then we can dismiss any possibility of causality. The only thing the Bradford Hill criteria can do is dismiss any possibility of causality. They cannot be used to confirm causality is at play. The only way to do that is with controlled, experimental, interventional science. Okay? Bradford Hill cannot inform on causality at all, except to dismiss it. Is that clear?
Yeah, I wasn't listening.
Just the usual then, just like Fluffy.
I'm reading questions.
Good, good. You read the questions.
And we want them to be like down outside of my screen. A capital fucking Q in front of it so I can find it easily,
yes,
please.
Like the one that's on the screen now.
Yes.
See that? Capital Q, colon. Full question. No abbreviations. Question mark.
Yes.
Good.
How did you become so knowledgeable about advanced physics such as the twin paradox? Great video on it, by the way.
I studied it myself because I was very interested in it. That's how.
That's usually how.
Yeah. I was very, very interested in the physics and particle physics and, you know, first principles and all of that, and how it is that we've built this construct, this model of our objective reality in which we find ourselves. And so I studied it. A great deal. Yes. Oh, poor little fluffy dog.
Apparently the best spot.
It is. What's next?
Should I be careful with fasts under 72 hours? How about longer ones? And what's the minimum time before refeeding syndrome is a concern?
Fasts that are shorter than 72 hours are not, in my mind, fasts. I don't classify them as a fast. My operational definition of fasting is that it begins at 72 hours. Anything shorter than that is just not eating at that time. The reason for that is because at about 72 hours, that is when most of the metabolic magics starts to kick into high gear at around about the 72-hour mark.
Unless you are dry fasting.
Unless you're dry fasting, in which case it can be quicker, yes.
Takes about 1 day.
Right. Because they say it's about 3 times as quick.
It is in terms of autophagy, for sure.
Okay, cool.
I think that's where it comes from the beginning. I don't know about everything.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Yes. And refeeding syndrome. Tell us about that.
I think that's a very individual thing,
yes.
But I don't think anyone, I mean, there are always outliers, of course, but I don't think anyone fasting for 72 hours need to actually worry about the refeeding syndrome.
Yeah, no, that's more a long-term thing.
Yeah.
Yes, agreed. Good.
Even on a dry fast, I don't think that would be a concern. However, there are always people with some metabolic or mineral absorbing issues or whatever, in which case that might be a problem, but for most people probably not.
Yes. Vad nästa min kvinn?
You're what?
Kvinn.
Kvinna?
Yes, if you say so.
Are advanced glycation end products ages a concern in cooked foods, even if it's meat?
Not to me, they're not. I'm not concerned at all, personally. No. I think if you blacken meat, that's probably not a good thing. So probably, avoid blackening it, unless you're barbecuing occasionally, in which case a bit of black is part of the game, isn't it? But I wouldn't barbecue every single meal in your entire life either. Brian has opinions about it. Brian doesn't want his blackened either.
Yes.
Yes. And if you go to the interwebs and do a common search, you'll probably find Brian. Brian is a big black cock. Shut up, Brian.
We have 4 Brians right
Yes. Yes, we have 4 big black cocks on site.
now. 2 of them are not completely black, to be fair.
Soon to be fewer because we're going to gobble down some big black cocks, aren't we?
3 of them.
How many are you going to gobble?
No one saw my eyebrows, so that didn't work.
Right. How many big black cocks are you going to gobble down?
I don't know. You're better at gobbling cocks than me.
I won't have that. Goodness gracious! Do you hear do you hear this insolence here from Her Majesty Pym?
What, you eat more than me? Right, shall we go to the next one?
Oh, why not? Why not? Yes.
We have to get rid of that and get that up.
Right.
Professor, what is the root cause of uric acidopathy? My sister's got one under her skin. It doesn't hurt. She doesn't want to quit carnivore, and doctor said it's because of meat.
Well, it's not because of meat. No, it isn't. It's most likely to be because of the intake of fructose, actually. But for an exactitude answer by someone who's an expert in that field, because I'm not, I would suggest that you ask that question to Dr. Abs, who is a dermatologist. I think he'll agree with me, though, that meat is not the cause of uric acid. Usually, almost invariably, uric acid builds up because of purine breakdown, because of the way in which the liver has to deal with fructose. Isn't it, Fluffy? You know.
She's looking at you.
She's looking at me like, I don't know. I don't do science. I just do eating shit and sleeping and ignoring mummy and daddy. Maybe she's just got this deaf act down.
Yeah.
To the point where we even start to believe her now that she really can't hear anymore.
And randomly crying in different rooms because no one's there.
Yeah.
Rather than go look for you.
Yes. You could actually stand up and go and find us, Dick. No. Okay. Oh, is the answer.
Okay.
Right.
I've been hearing lots of experts talking about the new sugar diet. What are your thoughts about this, kind sir?
Look, this is stupidity on legs. It is the absolutely most fucking ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It's inane. Anyone who has been sucked into this, who thinks that remotely doing something like this is a good idea, is a fucking imbecile. And I know that some people that have actually been on this channel as guests before have now been sucked into this ridiculous nonsense. Look, this is Darwin in action, boys and girls. Look, if anyone out there is stupid enough to do the sugar diet, well, that's your bloody funeral, frankly. But is that clear? Is that enough on that? Oh, my God. You would have to have an IQ under about 80. You really would. And if it's you I'm talking to, sorry about that. Just the facts. Dumbass.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
Well, do you want any fucking nutrition, or do you just
Oh, my God.
want energy out
Seriously.
of your ass?
That's all you do. You just eat fucking sugar all day.
Half of which is fructose.
Thank you for the super sticker.
Thanks, John.
Maybe we got some fructose in the super sticker.
All right, John, thanks for the squids. Love it.
Yes.
Can't see what the super sticker is because we're not watching the YouTubes right now, but it's probably a pear doing something. A dancing pear or something. Love you, John. There's nothing you can do about it.
Jonathan said something very important.
Did he?
96 of you have not hit like yet.
Goodness gracious.
Hit the fucking like button.
Yes, hit the fucking like button. Comment, both in the live chat and under the pre-recorded video when it becomes pre-recorded later, if we decide to leave this one up.
Like it.
And like it. And tell your friends.
And their mamas.
And their mamas.
And aunties.
And all their aunties, yes. Good.
Next. Will there be a Pimbati University in the future teaching economics, animal farming, and nutrition science?
Well, we're here now.
Well, there will be a fucking university.
Tune in. Watch the interwebs. Watch the Instagrams, I should say. There's lots of videos about Pimbati on the Instagrams.
I think there are better people to teach animal farming than us.
But not Pimbati style. We have our own way of doing things here.
Yeah, true.
It's called fuck around and find out. Good.
And economics, yes.
Yes.
Spend $16,000 on fencing.
So far.
so far.
Well,
actually
18,
more.
19,000 if you count that other bit we got done. 20,000, let's say, so far. Send us all your money, otherwise we'll run out of money because we've been putting up fences to keep animals in.
Will take long before we eat that much meat to pay off the fence.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
Yep.
Carnivore, 7 years, health has improved greatly, but have never lost any weight. My doctor did a gene test and said that I have little to no fatty acid transporters. Never heard of how to fix.
If that's your gene set, there is no way to fix it. And I doubt very much that that's at play. That sounds like a load of bollocks to me. Frankly.
Bollocks.
Bollocks, said Ted.
Do we have a bollocks button?
Bollocks! Yes, we do. We do. No, not there. If you go across to there and you scroll right up to the top, there it is.
Okay.
That one. No, that one. Yes. What happens?
I don't know.
Oh, you have to.
It's not like the moment is lost now.
We'll work it out for next week. There is a button that we can press that makes Ted come up on the screen and say, bollocks!
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's continue.
It is possible, absolutely, that you have a gene set that makes it difficult for you to transport fatty acids, in which case, how did you get fat in the first place? If indeed you are fat. Okay.
Just said never lost.
Sounds interesting. Talk to me in the background if you like. We'll do a private consultancy and see if we can work through to the bottom of it and find out what's what. Mostly 90-something% of everything said to people by doctors is an absolute load of pustulous excremental garbage, frankly. They're fucking idiots almost entirely.
Idiots.
Doctors. My God. Yes.
The time of consumption of food matters. I used to have 3 meals a day. Now try to only eat in a 6-hour window and 2 meals. Is this good for health?
I don't think that's going to do you a damn bit of good. No, I don't think that's the important thing. I think, ideally, a person should eat once a day, once only, if that's at all possible, and you should get all your nutrition in one meal. And that shouldn't take you more than half an hour to gob that down, which means 23 and a half hours not eating during the day. Pretty much.
What? 3.5 hours what?
23 and a half. Listen.
It's a 3.5
class.
hours.
Pay attention. Stop throwing paper darts.
Christ. Can going carnivore help a 63-year-old man who just quit lifelong smoking heal cataracts? Does alcohol make them worse? I guess Cerule could help if stem cells feel like it. Any other suggestions?
5 health hacks. All 5. Carnivore diet, Cerule products, the 3 oral supplementation products that I suggest people take in a wellness pack on subscribe and save on a monthly basis. Drinking is not a good idea. Grounding electrically, blocking blue light, after dark, and the high intensity burst repeat and or resistance training exercise. That's what I would suggest.
Okay.
Let's have some questions.
Yeah, I'm marking up more.
I can see that's what you're doing.
I've been strict carnivore for 2 years and can't get my triglycerides below 130. What could be causing this?
Okay, let me be very, very clear on this. Who cares? So what?
So what?
So what? With a like Cool Whip, like Stewie off the Family Guy. Yes, so what? What's next?
Yes.
The one thing I would ask you is, are you consuming any fructose at all?
Or are you actively losing weight?
Yes. Right, what's next?
Do you think that holding your excrement would allow you to absorb some of the nutrients that would otherwise be lost, even though one probably shouldn't do that?
No, I think that's a stupid idea.
But you can carry your excrement.
You hold your shit in as long as you like. You put a plug in there and see what happens.
It will help if you are an introvert and you don't want people to approach you.
Because you'll explode at some point and there'll be shit everywhere.
Right. Were you disappointed the Daily Mail comments seemed to be critical of carnivore?
I'm a bit of a realist, and I expected that the Daily Mail article would be a very poor representation of the actual discussion that we had. I was shocked at how poor of a representation of the discussion we had it was, because ostensibly what happened was this. Matt and I had a discussion for an hour and 7 minutes, I think it was. Wide-ranging discussion on a number of topics around carnivore and exercise and all of that. And what the article did was publish 3 statements I made, 3 sentences, out of the context of the discussion that we'd had. And then those 3 sentences were put in front of a dietitian, and the dietitian was allowed to give an authoritative statement about whether I was correct or not, which is fucking ridiculous. Number one, that they would publish just 3 sentences out of a 1 hour and 7 minute discussion. And 2, that they would think remotely for 1 second that a dietitian is remotely competent to critique me on anything. Fucking ridiculous. How's that? Laughable. Anyway, I've invited that dietitian to defend her statements about my statements, and surprisingly, shockingly, she's so very brave as to not respond at all.
Of course.
You know who you are. Fiona Willett, I think it is. New president of the Australian Dietetics Association. You're an incompetent hack, Fiona. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Your statements were theological, absolutely theological, and not based in science whatsoever. And I am inviting you again here, Fiona, come and have a debate with me live on this here YouTube channel about your ridiculous fucking statements. I won't even swear at you or be rude to you. I'll be polite because it's a very important discussion. Come and defend yourself.
Like Fiona Woolhead or something.
Fiona Woolhead?
I
don't know what it is. I think it's Willett. That'll do. Fiona.
Fiona Wallop.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
For people who have done damage to their arterial walls from 65 years of pre-diabetes, like my parents, is increasing their blood cholesterol, lipoproteins, increasing their risk of heart disease?
No, because lipoproteins and cholesterol do not cause heart disease. So absolutely not, no.
Yes. Do you think humans evolved from our primate ancestors because we adopted eating meat as our primary food source?
I know it for a fact, among other things. That was one of the selection pressures that was at play, yes, definitely. We know that from the isotope testing that tells us that was definitely the case. Not even a question. Not even up for debate. That's what happened. Even if you don't believe in evolution, it's still a thing. Yeah. Just like if you don't believe the Earth is an oblate spheroid, that's not my problem. It still is.
Shall we continue?
Yes, go on.
I saw an old video posted to Reddit. The guy in the video said, bringing up cholesterol will help defend your body against cancer.
That's nonsense. What's next?
Is higher levels of uric acid on this diet the same normal effect as raised cholesterol?
Some people have raised uric. Well, it's urate. It's not uric acid. It's urate, by the way. Some people on the carnivore diet have that and some don't. It's quite individual as to what happens in that regard. And what's higher, according to whom, on the basis of what.
Good.
Yes, Badmaster.
Is your compound still open for application? I am 24 and colored.
Sure. Yes. Yeah, you can apply to come and be a slave for a bit.
Yes. Talk to us.
We don't care what color you are.
I would prefer blue, but
sky blue pink. Are you sky blue pink, Paul?
I
quite like purple. Bright purple. It's my favorite color.
Of course you think purple. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What way of cooking meat retains the nutrients the best?
Well, there's no shortage of nutrient in meat, however you cook it, pretty much, unless you absolutely incinerate it. So don't do that and you're good.
When meatless emergencies occur and only carbs are available, are there herbs or drugs for soupy poop so I can be there to protect my family?
That's a repetition of the same question that you asked earlier.
Very similar.
Yes, I know you're new here, but let me remind you, we asked questions once here. You've had the answer. Yeah.
But do you think you deserve a medal for dealing with Victoria, the sugar brain?
I don't really feel like I deserve anything necessarily. I'm just doing what I believe to be my solemn duty to humanity, to bring forth and point to the extreme level of arrogance, Dunning-Kruger, ignorance, and offensiveness of these absolute fucking cunts. that want to put forward the idea that
All you do is you just eat fucking sugar.
it's ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And the fact that it gets any fucking attention from anybody whatsoever is just beyond me. Literally, as I said earlier, people would have to have an IQ in fucking double digits. It stuns me that anyone can believe that that's a good idea at all. And so my duty is to put these people on the spot, put them in the headlights, and invite them to defend themselves and allow them to show themselves up for the ignoramus that they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she did. She really showed herself up very, very badly. If she had any self-awareness at all, she'd close her channel down and disappear from public life permanently. That was embarrassing for her, or it should have been. Anyway, what's next?
Do you think Cyril would help with the fatigue associated with long C? Do you know if anyone has tried this and recovered? Thanks.
Long C does not exist. I think Cyril has the capacity to ameliorate just about any situation at all except a genetically caused defect in a person, because the only thing these things can't do is change your gene set. What they can do is produce adult stem cells that can absolutely and do absolutely differentiate into brand new cells of any kind your body needs, except sperm or eggs, actually. The thing that people are referring to as long C is often actually the result of the intervention that was mandated upon some people, and some people who are not strong enough to stand up and say no.
Rod is asking, how do I apply to become a slave at Pimbatia?
You send an email to me at my email address and say, I want to come there and do stuffs and things. And you, me, Pim, and Ted will discuss it amongst ourselves and decide whether we'll have you and what it is you'll come and do and stuffs. And there'll be contracts and things and NDAs. Yes.
Right. I asked if I better be careful with 1 to 3 day fast as I take nebivolol for post-C vid tachycardia, which I only get when nervous or if I screw up electrolytes.
Yes.
Chat deleted first part of my question. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, we're not going to give you any medical advice on pharmacological interventions because that's not my thing, except for I will happily say to you, don't ever take a statin, anybody, ever, under any circumstances. You would need to go back to your primary care provider and see whether or not that particular drug has any interaction with eating or not eating. Don't know. I'd have to look it up. Believe it or not, I don't actually know everything. I just know everything about, well, not everything, a lot about a limited range of subjects, which I have studied for many decades. Some of them. Yes.
Would you kick out farm guests if you catch them smuggling in carbs on your premises?
No. No.
No. What is your body count in terms of cows consumed?
So far, we haven't killed any animals here for eating. We are still in the process of growing some animals up for that purpose. And indeed, we're doing some husbandry. We're getting some male animals to come and service the female animals. And so we can make more animals and then grow them up and then eat them. We'll be eating our own animals probably within the year, but so far we're not doing that yet. We will soon be gobbing down some huge black cocks, won't we?
Yes.
Yes. There you go, Paul. Yes, we'll be doing that soon because we have too many huge black cocks around the place, frankly, and also some ducks are for the chopping block sooner or later too, aren't they? Some ducks.
4 or 5.
Yes.
Oh, babies.
Oh. I know, we've connected with them. It's kind of hard, isn't it?
Don't care about the chicken so much.
Perhaps we should just go vegan and say, oh, we couldn't do it. Or maybe one of the jobs we could get someone that wants to come here to do is to off some of these birds for us so that we can feel like it wasn't us that did it.
That's brave, Sir Robin.
Yes, bravely ran away.
Okay. Is showering and brushing teeth still required in carnivore? It seems less bodily waste would be produced and less tooth bacteria.
There are people running around claiming to be carnivore, and I believe they are. I have no reason to doubt them, who say that they're not showering or brushing their teeth for long periods of time. Okay, fine. If you want to do that, that's up to you. I personally will continue to wash relatively regularly when I am not too tired and too busy, and I will continue to brush my teeth. Otherwise, there'll be no action for me. Yeah, there'll be no action for me otherwise. No, I think it's still a basic part of basic hygiene that we do need to probably do something about that, personally. I think the people that I've spoken to that say that they don't do it for long periods of time, there was a period when they first started doing it where things got funky and nasty, but then it kind of cleared away after that. So you've got to be prepared to go through that, and I frankly am not. I don't want to walk around in a stinking pile of stinkiness for, well, several months, it sounds like, before it actually abates. Personally.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting stuff, though.
With my knowledge base,
Yes.
how can I respectfully convince the 300-pounders in my online support meetings to look into a carnivore diet to reduce the symptoms? It's like they want to be sick.
I have found, Jonathan, that irrespective of someone's weight, that it seems to be pretty much a human trait, that humans are much like horses in that you can lead them to the water. There ain't no way to make them drink. All you can do is repeat the message with clarity and with love in your heart for those whom you're trying to get the message across to. Or indeed, if you don't like doing that, you can do it like I do it and be rude to people and call them all a cunt.
You could also pose the question, would you be prepared to do this for 30 days and see?
Well, yes.
Some people might take you up on that and then find that they do a lot better and actually continue.
I'm going to put a cap in that fucking chicken. That cock, I mean.
What if that's the keeper, Brian?
Oh, well, maybe. Apparently there's one I'm not allowed to shoot. It's typical, isn't it? You can have any cock you like, except that one.
Well, he's the only one who has not attacked me or the dogs, so he gets to live.
Yes.
Whether he sounds like that or not. And he found his voice yesterday, I think, so that might be him just practicing.
Yes, he's funny, his balls have dropped. Right. Anyway, enough about big black cocks. What's next?
If insulin is kept low via low-carb eating, what happens to the actual fat when consuming it? Is Atkins correct in saying you cannot lay down fat if insulin is low? It's
not that you cannot, it's that it's much less likely. You absolutely can if you eat a sufficiency of fat that is, well, an overplus of sufficiency of fat, because you will use an amount of fat every day to, for want of a better term, fuel your metabolism, and that will be oxidized to H2O plus CO2. And any excess fat that is not used will remain in your system and be laid down and stored. Pretty much. Insulin, absolutely, insulin has an effect on the rate at which that occurs. Yes, though.
There's also the good old, if you eat too much fat, more fat than you can actually absorb, you will get the shits.
Yes.
So there's that.
Yes, tickety ticks, tick the questions, tick the questions.
Yeah, and up with the super chat. Thank you very much. You mentioned before that in order for a person to grow as much as possible in terms of hypertrophy, exogenous carbs might be needed. Could you explain the argument for and against the use of carbs in hypertrophy?
What I've said is that advanced hypertrophy athletes who are already carbing may well find that their hypertrophy is challenged if they don't intake sufficient carbohydrates, at least in the short term. The argument is that carbohydrates precipitate insulin, and insulin is needed to get protein into the muscle cells, as well as it's needed to get sugar in there, which completely ignores the fact that insulin is also activated to some degree by protein.
I'm wondering, how would things like, either free or branched chain amino acids work for the same purpose because different amino acids have different insulinogenic effects.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
if you chose the right ones, could you maybe get as much insulin as you would if you, well, not as much, you're not going to get as much, but sufficient for hypertrophy.
Indeed. Yes.
Just a thought?
Yes, good. And I would also suggest to a person whose goal is to gain the most muscle mass possible that you need to change your goal, because that's fucking stupid. It's not healthy. It's not a good thing to seek out and search for in terms of your long-term health prospects. And it's a bit psychologically fucked up too, in my opinion. A certain amount of functional muscle mass is indicated. Being a huge bodybuilder, muscle builder is not indicated at all. And you should stop it immediately. Just my opinion. It doesn't have to be anybody else's. But do remember the policy here on my channel, which is that arguing with me is by definition deemed to be hate speech. And will subject you to the full force of Pimbatian law on hate speech.
But what do we think about Turtle Dunk Knuckle Baby name?
Sounds fine. I think it's genuine myself. Yeah, I'll buy it.
I like it.
Turtle Dunk Knuckle Baby.
Have we got another super chat?
Oh, probably.
Yes.
Yes.
It's Mr. Swallow.
Yes.
Still don't know if it's African or not. Maybe it's an European. Okay. I used to have the worst plaque on my teeth for years till I started keto carnivore. These days, no more plaque, and I only brush twice a week.
Okay. Cool. And what's your favorite color? Red. No, blue.
Truthfully, or you shall be punished.
Yes. And no singing.
Right. Struggling with long wound healing while on carnivore and following 5 health hacks. Otherwise feeling great. Any suggestions?
What do you mean long wound healing?
Maybe it takes a long time to heal wounds.
What wounds are we talking about, Andrew? That sounds like an individual thing that we need to talk about privately in the background.
Just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound, head worse. No singing. Braves a robin ran away. Right.
How detrimental for my health do you think taking the 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. night shift is? Have an opportunity to make a decent amount more money than I do currently, but I don't know if I should because of the hours.
Absolutely appalling. The worst thing you could do. I wouldn't work night shift now for all the tea in China. I have done in my life at various times. There was about 6 years I actually did night shift, graveyard shift. I would never go back to that. Of course, I didn't have a choice back then, and you may not be in a position to have a choice right now about providing the funds that you or your family need for livings. That said, I would be looking for other ways to generate income, frankly.
Me too.
Sorul's a good one. Very good one. What's the secret to Sorul, by the way? It's not a secret. Tell people about Sorul. They'll buy it, and you'll get paid for it. Right, what's next?
My doctor think I can't digest meat and fat well because of a test they gave me that I don't remember the name of. They suggested pancreatine and ox bile. What do you think of those supplements?
Well, I would try them, Jean. Love you, by the way, and there's still nothing you can do about it. I would try those things and see if they help. And if they don't, there's your answer. Either one of them is likely to be a problem.
What is your opinion, not nibbling Nick? You seemed more positive back in the day and a lot more critical now, correct? Could you elaborate?
I have never had an ounce of respect for Nick and his Nick Norwitz. No. I have always said extreme caution should be applied here. This is a very, very young man without the background or wisdom to be seen as any kind of authority in this field whatsoever. And he has proven himself time and time and again to be incompetent to the point where actually him and his mates have done quite immense damage through their stupidity. And I'm not happy about it. I would say that to his face too, if he had any gumption or sense of anything to actually front up for a discussion with me live, face to face. I'd tell him, Nick, I am absolutely furious about what you've done here. I would never in a purple fit have allowed that if I'd been invited to be a part of that team, I would have steered you away from that, because that was only ever going to get you in trouble. And it was their lack of wisdom and experience that led them straight to it, frankly. How's that?
How is that?
That's you, Nick Norwitz. Dave, Adrian, come and talk to an actual experienced scientist about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the mere fact that you would even consider allowing Budoff to put his name on a paper that you guys wrote shows me exactly what I need to know about your wisdom and experience in science. Okay? No. Anyway. Yeah.
Jonathan says, as a bodybuilder, ironically, I agree with Professor's statements on excess muscle mass being stupid. Lol. I'm just obsessed, and it helps keep me on top of health through the continued pursuit.
Okay. Well, you do you. Absolutely, Jonathan. I'm not going to knock you for it. No. I'm just going to say my advice to people at large, not to any one given person, but to people at large, my advice is don't do that. Don't chase that goal. Don't chase that dream down. That will not be good for your health long term. There will be a price to pay for that.
We have another super chat.
Yeah, we like super chats.
Okay. It's a European swallow, and I still grab coconuts by the husk. I shall remember that then. You are European.
So, ergo, no big black cock, perhaps?
No, they don't run around and
they're not.
Fly around with coconuts. They only eat apples.
I see.
Do you think there is hope for low carb going complete mainstream, where even your grandma has heard of it or so?
I think that happened some time ago.
Yeah, I was going to say everyone knows about low carb.
Yes.
Or even keto.
Yes. I mean, go out there in the street and ask 100 people, have you ever heard of low carb? I think you'll find that 101 of them will say yes.
Yes, probably. Because someone cheats and says twice.
That's right.
Just like on election day.
Oh, there's good counting. Yes, I like that. Election counting, yes.
Is low mineral water not recommended? Is sparkling water the best option?
No, sparkling water is not the best option. No, it isn't. Flat water is probably the best option. Low mineral water depends on how low and what minerals, really. That's a very general question, Daniel. You need to be a bit more specific.
My blood sugar drops from not eating enough fat, and I get muscle cramps from it. I can't fast because of this. Is this normal?
Sounds like you need to talk to me in the background about that, if indeed fasting is something that is indicated for you. It might not be.
How low is your blood sugar actually going, and is the blood sugar a problem for you? Because some people can have quite low blood sugar by normal standards and feel completely fine.
Yes.
And then the second question is, have you tried dry fasting? Because that prevents you from losing much electrolytes.
Yes.
The rate at which you're losing electrolytes is so much slower than on a water fast.
Indeed. And also, all of that said, why are you fasting in the first place? What is the indication for fasting? Why are you doing that? What's next?
Life expectancy of malnutrition by Victoria.
Oh, God, who knows? Yeah, I mean, picking the lifespan or likely lifespan of any one given individual is impossible, isn't it? She'll live for as long as she lives, however long that is.
Why did we go from cell division as a means of reproduction to copulation?
So that we could exchange and swap genes around. And also it facilitates the ability of us to be multicellular organisms with mitochondria and stuff. It's quite technical, but that's basically the crux of it.
Are you going to add methylene blue to your health hack list?
No, I'm not. No.
We have quail outside as well now.
Yes.
How are people losing fat weight so fast on 1 kilo of sugar and moderate protein a day if high insulin is what's supposed to keep our fat on?
Number one, we don't know that fat is what they're losing largely. It's likely that they're losing a fair bit of water, as is what happens when you change your diet markedly from anything to anything else, actually. I'm yet to see any high-quality controlled scans of anyone showing that they are generally losing a lot of fat or more fat than they would lose having changed their diet to anything else. from what it was.
Right.
And actually, even if eating nothing but sugar leads to a loss of fat, genuinely, even if it does, that doesn't make it indicated. It's still fucking stupid.
Done?
Maybe.
Thoughts on NEU5GC? I haven't heard much about it.
Well, I've covered it in several videos on several occasions on my channel. Perhaps you should do a scan of my channel and find the video where I'm talking about NEU5GC and watch it. In short, the idea that NEU5GC is a problem is absolute fucking nonsense. Complete fucking nonsense. Rubbish. The reasons for which I've given scientifically in the videos, I think it's a couple that I've done on that topic, on my channel. Or if you don't find them on my YouTube channel, you might have to take an odyssey of discovery to find them, depending on how long ago they were taken. Because there are several thousand of my previous videos that you will have to take an odyssey of discovery to find, because they're not on the YouTubes, because they were removed from the YouTubes because YouTube's changed their rules and started applying their rules to videos that were posted that were not in breach of their rules at the time they were posted, because YouTube are very fair and just in that way. Are we done? Good.
Apparently. Do you think Sean O'Mara is a good source of information on diet?
I have no idea. I haven't paid much attention to the boy at all.
What do you use to brush your teeth? I imagine boar bristle, but what about toothpaste?
We use a natural-ish sort of toothpaste that Pim gets, and it's based on what?
Don't know exactly, but it's non-fluoridated toothpaste with some propolis and stuff in it.
Propolis, that's the one I was looking for. That's what it is, that bee stuff. Good.
There are probably better toothpaste out there, but it's what we do right now.
At times, Pim has been known to make toothpaste from coconut oil and
Baking soda and stuff like
that.
What is your opinion on the engineer Dave Feldman and him being on medical articles for Carnivore? Do you think it's a bad look?
I think it's absolutely fucking ridiculous from the ground up. Dave is not a scientist. Dave has no training whatsoever in medical science or metabolism or nutrition of any kind. Dave has no fucking business doing what he was doing. For a start, he's put together a research team of very young men who do not have the wisdom or experience in science to conduct themselves in a way that's not likely to get them in trouble. Ergo, they've got themselves into massive trouble. I mean, if I burst a pipe in my house, I'm going to ring a plumber. I'm not going to ring an electrician. Dave saying, setting up the Citizen Science Foundation is akin to me setting up the Citizen Gynecology Association. Look, no experience, but I'll take a look at it for you. It's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Is that clear? I hope it's clear.
I think so.
Good. Oh, poor Fluffy.
Yeah, my leg was falling asleep. Is it fair to weigh there are three main pillars to cancer: nuclear and mitochondrial DNA change? What's MT?
Mitochondrial
damage, mutations and metabolic syndrome, and turbo cancers have all three in a terrible feedback loop.
That's one idea that's been put forward, that there are a number of pillars that are likely to be causal influences in carcinogenesis. Sure.
How do we avoid hepatic growth hormone resistance, inability to produce IGF-1 in the presence of elevated HGH? Mass BCAA consumption does not seem to be a good idea.
Let me be very clear, Zax. Here's what you ought to do. 5 health hacks every single day. Eat a 100% carnivore diet. Take the cereal products. Ground yourself electrically. Block the blue light from your eyes after dark and do the exercise. Forget everything else. Fucking nonsense. Absolute fucking nonsense, reductionist garbage. Just spouting off all these scientific terms without any apparent appreciation of what any of them are actually about and how they fit into the way a system works in the first place. It's not helpful to anybody.
Oh God, you stink.
It's just the term that we're using here is reductionist nonsense, and that's what it is. It's nonsense. We just need to keep the message very simple here, boys and girls. Do the thing, rinse and repeat. We'll do the 5 things, rinse and repeat. Okay?
Okay. I'm not sure if this is some sort of torture method or being thrown in a pen with Muscovy drakes, or if it's a reward.
I'm not sure that even says.
I have no idea.
What was that, Rick? What are you talking about? Young man.
Hey, Professor, if I have been an impatient child and switched diets overnight, would you advise going back to my mixed whole foods diet and slowly transitioning, or just stay the course now? I'm 3 weeks in.
No, you stay the course. That is a fork in the road that's behind you. The ship has sailed. Now you get through it, and you apply the 5 health hacks ever more fervently than beforehand.
I think we missed this one.
Okay.
Josephine has been a member for 12 months. A year. Thank you for all the helpful content.
You're very welcome. Thank you for the year of membership. We appreciate it. It keeps Ted from going mad somehow.
Right. Can you do your Richard Burgess imitation? I need a laugh.
Oh, hi, everyone. I'm an ignorant fuck with absolutely no training on any topic, but I'm also so fucking arrogant as to tell you all about the science, though.
That's the best I can do. I should do it like this too. But then it makes it hard for me to say,
oh, hi, everyone. I'm so high energy.
You're a pussy, Richard. You're an absolute fucking pussy. How does it, has your ass stopped hurting yet? From the reaming you got from me several months ago? Absolutely handed you your ass, didn't I? Boy. Pathetic child.
Oh, we missed the super chat.
Yay.
If carnivore, do women need a calcium supplement? Nope. Why are so many influencers adding carbs into the diet, especially for women's hormones and thyroid? They are saying carnivore thanks hormones and wrecks thyroid. Why?
Because they're idiots, they're imbeciles, and they want to give people good news about bad habits, and because that's much more marketable. People love anyone that's going to tell them carbs are fine and they should eat a bunch of carbs, because people are addicted to carbs. Doesn't make them good. They're not. Still, the idea that carnivore tanks anything if it's done correctly is wrong. You did it wrong. You never really were a carnivore. Shut the fuck up. Does that cover it? Good.
Dear Bart, what is your opinion on methylene blue?
I don't really have one, other than I tried it for a while because Sarah Pugh gave me some and said, try this and see what happens. And I did. What happened is my piss went green.
In your opinion, is there a set of exercises someone should be able to do, e.g. X amount of push-ups to be considered maximum healthy?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think there's a baseline level of exercise activity that a person, any given person, should be able to undertake. Of course, that would change depending on the individual a bit, because there are some people who have limited capacities for reasons either their fault or otherwise. There are different standards for different people. We differentiate here. We discriminate is what I'm saying, and rightly so, because, well, we're all different, aren't we?
What about being able to get up from the floor without using your hands?
I can't do that at the moment.
That increases my lifespan watching you trying.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, because you get to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm also working on. I am. I'm also working on rehabbing the very serious leg injury I got several years ago that still isn't quite right.
Oh my God.
I'm also working on being a farmer and running 3 other businesses so that I can keep you in the fashion to which you've become accustomed, you ungrateful bitch.
Brian says fuck off.
Does he?
Yeah, can you not hear him?
I don't know, that's what he's saying. I don't speak chicken.
Before carnivore, I used to enjoy farting and irritating my wife. But now I've been carnivore 3 years and don't fart anymore. Is there any carnivore approved food to eat so I can fart again?
Dear oh dear. Hold her head under the sheet. Hold it till she's fucking beat.
You can just
make
eat some carbs and you will
your fart.
Do that easily.
You could, yes.
Poor wife.
Yep.
Thoughts on root canals? Is it better to remove the tooth if a root canal is performed?
Yes. Get an implant.
What is the airspeed velocity of a swallow?
Well, that depends on whether it's African or European. Jesus, Brian.
Ducks still at the canal, apparently. Good for them.
Great.
Someone loves me. That's good. Thank you, Bonnie. 5G frequencies, danger or not?
Unknown. Jury is out.
Right. Has any of these internet content feuds impacted your mental health in real life, or has it always stayed online?
Only very mildly from time to time if I'm already on edge or already at the end of my capacity to deal with life in general. My mental health has been up and down over the years at various times. Not in recent years has it been particularly problematic. I did recently get very, very tired, very exhausted because I've been doing or trying to do too much for too long. And I needed to take a break and take a couple of weeks out and stop doing all of that. But no, I mean, none of these people are actually important enough in my life to actually have an impact on my life at large. These are just people online that say stupid shit. And it's kind of my solemn duty to correct their stupid shit. It's also my shtick. It's the thing that gives my channel its raison d'etre, if you like. People tune in because they want to see, you know, what clever way I'm going to swear at people next. Yeah. Good.
Super chat.
I like it.
Ever put any rubs on your meat? Meat you cook, by the way.
That's her department, rubbing things on my meat, isn't it? Yes, she does rub things on my meat occasionally. Tasty, tasty things.
Absolutely. We're happy to use spices.
Yep.
And by the way, we're not eating 100% meat here. So if you think that that's what we're doing,
we never said that that's what we do. We neither one of us has ever claimed to be 100% carnivore at any time, except I did it twice, once for 30 days and once for 90 days for a challenge and for a series of videos. It was good, by the way, much better than 95%. But
most people they don't need to not use spices, but if you are someone with, you know, autoimmune conditions or you're super sensitive to stuff, it might be beneficial for you to not do that for at least a period of time. So,
good.
Depending on who you are, of course.
Yeah.
What do you think about eating before going to bed from the carnivore perspective? Noticed after starting carnivore, beef even improves my sleep, but the mainstream science says don't eat before bed.
Mainstream science is an oxymoron, especially regarding human nutrition. There is none. It does not exist. If you find something works for you well in practice in your life, keep doing it.
Yeah.
Unless that is pouring hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of grams of sugar down your ridiculous fucking neck every day, in which case stop that immediately. Stop that yesterday, you dumb cunts. You stupid, inane fuckknuckles. You shithooks. Stop it. What's next?
I wanted to say something.
Go on
then. Before you go to bed, a lot of people that might have some blood sugar issues would actually benefit from eating some protein before bed, because that can help you to maintain your blood sugar until you get your natural cortisol spike around 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Excellent. Whatever it is.
So what you're suggesting is you should gob down some protein before you go to sleep.
Well, not a whole fucking steak necessarily, but some protein seems to help some people. So maybe you're one of those that just do better with eating some before bed. I don't know how much you're talking about when you say beef improves your sleep, whatever.
Right.
If it helps you sleep, then continue doing it.
Good.
You said that maximizing muscular hypertrophy isn't a good idea. What about maximizing maximum muscular strength or power?
There is a level of functional strength and capacity for navigating the real world, which is useful. And training to achieve a level that's higher than that tends to lead to detriment. It's an inverted U-shaped or N-shaped curve. Like anything else, the dose makes the poison, and it's hormetic to a certain point, beyond which it's not. That's that.
Mm.
Good.
Okay.
Mm.
I would love to see some reaction videos on Cole Robinson and the sugar fasting. A lot of keto carnivores are trying it and losing weight, but they should know the dangers of it.
Well, then how about you do a fucking scan on my fucking channel to see what videos I've already fucking done? God, I get sick of people saying, why don't you do a video on this? And they haven't even fucking looked at my list of videos that exist on my channel to see what I've already fucking done. Okay, I'm finished with the angry act. I'm not really mad with you. Yeah, just have a look on my channel. It's been done already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
Mom has hemochromatosis and is afraid of the iron in red meat,
Yes.
but is curious of trying carnivore.
Yes.
Have you any experience with helping such ones transition to carnivore?
Yes, I have. Absolutely, we can do that in the background as a consultancy issue. No drama.
Do you drive a camouflage Jeep?
Is it camouflaged? Not really.
Only when
Silver.
I've been driving through the mud.
Yes. We have a silver utility.
Got pretty well camouflaged after me driving back and forth to Natasha's.
Very good.
What are your thoughts on stevia causing infertility? I heard Dr. Chafer is claiming to be so.
I don't know anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my area.
What's your opinion on raw meat diet?
Fine if you like that sort of thing. Up to you. If you want to, no problem.
30-year-old 100% meat eater here. I face absolutely no health issues with anything whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I should start with cereal products now or perhaps at a later
Well, now,
stage?
yesterday, because how long would you like that situation to continue?
Yes.
Basically.
Oh.
Yes. Absolutely. I'd get on it yesterday.
We have more super chats from the Turtle Dunk Knuckle Baby.
Love it.
What is your opinion of Ben Bickman's work besides the Randall cycle and his advice on nutrition, assuming you've seen much of his work?
I have had my attention drawn to Ben Bickman twice. Once on his ideas about the Randall cycle, which were ignorant in the extreme. It's something he knows nothing about whatsoever and should have remained silent about. And secondly, he is a devotee and a believer in this thing, insulin resistance, as the etiology and underpinning cause of a whole bunch of problems that people have. It's not. That's false. That's rubbish. It's a construct. I'm not impressed by that at all. Ergo, I don't know, maybe everything else he says in the whole world is correct. Don't know. Don't care. Oh, sorry. Third thing. He said evolution doesn't exist. He's a theologian. So... frankly, Ben Bickman, that's 3 strikes as far as I'm concerned.
3 strikes.
Done. Not interested in anything Ben Bickman has to say beyond that, really.
Ben Buckman.
Yeah, Ben Buckman. Bickman.
Okay, then. Why don't you like the GI chart? I heard you say it's useless.
It's not that I don't like it. It's the second thing. It is useless. The noise around the signal GI is so massive as to render the signal itself useless. Perhaps you'd like to view my video on this topic, which is listed on my fucking channel. Go and fucking watch it.
YouTube has this search function you can use.
That's right. It has a search function. Use the bastard. Sorry.
I'm not deaf.
Sorry, deaf ear.
Can the carnivore diet help with androgenic male hair loss? Lower insulin equals lower DHT.
Forget the second bit. The first bit is possibly. Try it and see. This mechanistic speculation just pisses me off. It's rubbish. It's reductionist nonsense.
Haley enjoys your clever swearing.
Good.
Top left lip going numb after eating chicken or pork. Avoid?
Yes. Which one of you is that occurring to, though, Miss Patricia? Is it everybody or just one of you?
The French eat bread and butter every day, and supposedly they have one of the least heart disease. What do you make of that?
Nothing at all. Associations are of no interest unless they're massive, and this one isn't.
Is this sugar diet a new thing? It seems like a scary extreme to me.
It's a thing being promoted by an absolute cocksplat, shithook, fuck trumpet, arse blanket called Cole Robinson, who has no training whatsoever in any aspect of science, nutrition, physiology, or anything else. He's also a bloke that seems to need to lose a bunch of weight every fucking 6 months or less. Well, why do you have to keep losing weight, Cole? Why do you keep getting fat? What are you doing wrong, son? Other than every fucking thing at all times. Idiot. How's that? I've been weight stable for 15 years at least, within 5 to 7 kilos either way, I think it is, outside of those 2 periods of time where I did 90 days carnivore.
So, Raul,
Yep.
if I can only afford one product, which would you suggest?
Mm-hmm.
Health concern, osteoporosis, type 2 diabetes, which is almost gone,
Mm-hmm.
and precancerous polyps at colonoscopy screening.
Right. Well, if you are going to take just one product, I would take Stem Enhance Ultra as your first choice. That said, nobody needs to pay for their cereal products. You don't need to do that at all. Why would you pay for them? Send me an email. 3 and 3, basically. You joined as an IBO instead of as a customer. You set up 3 customers of your own and your product is free. Conditions apply.
Mm-hmm. Is erythritol the least problematic sweetener? If no, what is?
Possibly. Stevia is pretty good too, it seems, as far as we can tell.
Well, Dr. Chafee apparently said you get sterile from using it.
Well, is that a bad thing?
Don't know about, you said erythritol, so I think all of them will have some effect or another on something, like your microbiome or whatever. Maybe allulose isn't that problematic, but I think everything is, how much of it are you consuming? Is it going to be a problem?
Yeah. Good.
If you have a tiny bit of stevia every day, they're going to make you sterile? Maybe I should try.
Let's ask Anthony Chafee, see what he says.
Oh, well, I've used stevia for years now.
Mm-hmm.
I've not tried.
You've also not had any babies.
I haven't tried. Jesus Christ, I'm not going to try.
No, we don't want any babies.
I don't want to try that hypothesis out. Right. The only thing that went north in blood tests after 11 months carnivore is ferritin, 420 nanograms per milliliter. GP said it's the diet, but I think it's more due to still drinking alcohol. What's your opinion on that?
My opinion is the only time a person should ever take bloods is if there is a suspected pathology which needs to be diagnosed, in other words, confirmed or refuted. Shotgun testing, taking values out of one's blood, absolutely fucking pointless. It won't tell you anything of any value or utility whatsoever. I wouldn't be remotely interested in that whatsoever. At all.
Comment. Carl Robinson strikes me as a dumber version of Vegetable Police.
Oh, he's dumber than a box of spanners. Dumber than a box of rocks. He's as stupid as fuck. But somehow still manages to market himself well enough that hundreds of thousands of people subscribe to it. Probably people with low IQs or people who get amusement value out of it, or both. Don't know.
Well, it's kind of entertaining, and then you buy into it because, oh, it works. So there are lots of people with not too much IQ out there.
Oh, God, tell me about it.
All right, that was the last question.
Very good.
Comment.
Very good.
Such.
Right. Well, that's how questions and answers sessions goes, boys and girls. Hope you had fun. Don't take the angry act too seriously. I have to keep doing it because it's the way I started. It's my hook. It's what people expect. I have to call you all a bunch of shit hooks or fuck blankets or ass trumpets or cock monkeys or something like that.
Shit hooks is a new one.
I know, I added that one recently. Yes. Yeah, get the word out there. Help me. Help me, help you, help me, help you. Let's all help each other with the visibility thing because YouTube isn't helping. Go and get your cereal products, everybody. If you're not on that bandwagon already, you are missing out. There's no two ways about it. Watch my video about telomeres, and that'll, if you need selling, if you still aren't sold on the cereal product, go and watch my video about telomeres. It's posted on the community section of my YouTube channel, and it says watch this 3 times at least. It's only about 13 or 14 minutes long, something like that, I think, from memory. Get that down here and then go and get the cereal products. Do that yesterday. All right, other than that, that only just leaves the one thing to do, and that is to sing the national anthem of Pembatia. which of course, whoops, get rid of that, which goes a little bit something like this. Steak and eggs and steak. That's what you should have for your breakfast. Delicious. Eggs and steak and eggs. Just making sure you heard. I think I got it, Ted. For this next time when someone will be rolling into it or something, because it doesn't look like settling down, does it?